Is somebody talking at me? Oh, that's a good plan. Solid pimp decision. I like it. Copy. Well, I'm in the helicopter. No, let's not play. Let's be serious. This is happening on in the Granada Hills area, and this vehicle driving very erratically. We're eastbound 118, started somewhere in the Simi Valley area, and we understand Simi Valley deputies were actually the ones that initiated the pursuit, and then the California Highway Patrol got involved. Look at those numbers. This vehicle, little tiny car, moving over 100 miles an hour. It was in the carpool lane for most of the ride, but now it's in that emergency lane, and it is not slowing down. This is going to be a tough one. Are we going to be getting off on that off ramp? And at those speeds, I hope those brakes are working well. It does seem like he's slowing down a little bit, coming up to the top of the ramp. Now, California Highway Patrol, they do have their own helicopter, as I understand it, over this. Let's see what happens at that intersection. He has got that ability to get between a lot of those cars out there. Just before we went live, he did really kind of squeak between a couple of vehicles on that 118. I was wondering, has he got soap on the bumpers or what? Making that turn, coming around as we're doing a U-turn. There you go. You can see the California Highway Patrol is making their presence known. Another one right there. They really want to bring this thing to a stop. What this person is wanted for, that I still don't know. Maybe our assignment desk can pass that information along to you ladies, and then we can get that information. But right now, you can see very erratic driving, very quick driving, and a lot of close calls for those civilians out there on the roadway. That always makes my blood run cold. Skyfox kind of doing a little pirouette here, but this is back onto the 118, and that's going to be eastbound. Don't worry, kids, I won't lose it. And you can see that those speeds, again, starting to pick up. California Highway Patrol, they're bringing more officers into the game. Can they do a pit? Not at these speeds. What can they do to stop it? Well, right now it's just kind of stay behind it, warn the public, and then, of course, if there's an opportunity, they might be able to do some spike strips. We've seen them do it in the past on the freeway, especially when the suspect, like in this case, using that far right or far left lane. Well, we're coming up on the 405 right now. You can see coming up on that 405. You know, North Valley, definitely going to be Granada Hills, North Valley. But you can see those speeds. Look at that, 117 miles an hour. Now, a lot of these vehicles, especially these newer ones like that, they have limiters set up, the computer. They're just not going to let that car drive that fast. But if this person does any kind of, just even bumps into something right now at these high speeds, that could be very tragic for that driver and anybody else that may be in the vehicle. I am trying to listen to what California Highway Patrol is talking about. Haven't heard about anything but the driver. But again, California Highway Patrol in active pursuit this morning, still on the 118. We're going to start running out of 118. We'll have a choice out here, the 210 and or the 5. I also know that TOC, if we were going to stay on the 210, TOC is our technical people. We might have to start switching up some mountaintops. But right now, still continuing. Now in the emergency lane, speeds in the triple digits. This car really moving out. California Highway Patrol doing what they can to keep the public safe. Anything but the driver. But again, California Highway Patrol in active pursuit this morning, still on the 118. We're going to start running out of 118. We'll have a choice out here, the 210 and or the 5. I also know that TOC, if we were going to stay on the 210, TOC is our technical people. We might have to start switching up some mountaintops. But right now, still continuing. Now in the emergency lane, speeds in the triple digits. This car really moving out. California Highway Patrol doing what they can to keep the public safe.
Well, it is kind of like a Friday light situation, you could say, on the freeway, which is giving this person the ability to drive erratically, maneuver in and out of those lanes, and go at a high rate of speed, which obviously is very dangerous. But because there's lack of traffic, that individual is able to drive this way.
Well, you know, lack of traffic, that's one of those plus and minuses. Like you said, it's giving this person that ability to go a lot faster. Also, the people that are driving, they're not expecting somebody to come up on them that quickly and or change lanes in front of them that quickly. So this is makes it a little bit more dangerous for the public. California Highway Patrol, they are still, I believe they are still in the background there, at least trying to warn the public, but that vehicle is still moving along at a very, very quick clip. I know the helicopter is still here following it, and of course Skyfox is going to keep an eye on it as well. But you know what, when I did that wide shot, I did not see any of those California Highway Patrol vehicles, so maybe they have backed off, giving this. Now I'm getting confirmation. I'm being corrected. They are still in pursuit, and that's really a big positive. Is at least, again, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I'm just a guy in a helicopter. That it at least is warning the public that something is going on. Running through that gore point right there. This guy's still moving at a very fast clip.
Yeah, if you could put up the speed, I know on your fancy graphics that you have there with the streets that could identify what we're looking at right here. It helps a lot in terms of following where this vehicle is going. We should say that it started as a pursuit of this SUV from the Ventura County Sheriff's Office, and officers there starting all of this, and then this vehicle making its way eastbound on the 118, now over the 405, now going towards the 210, as you see. So clearly eastbound, and yeah, look at the speed there, Stu.
Definitely, and I'm sorry about that. I thought you guys were seeing the same thing I was. My bad. But yeah, you can see it, and this is not the carpool lane. Now we're getting back over into actual traffic lanes. That was the emergency lane for the most of it. And these triple digits, at one point I looked up, and it could be a little bit of an error. Don't get me wrong, we're not perfect, but it was coming up to 118 miles an hour. Now I would venture to say that 115, 120, probably the limiter on a car like that. And again, that's just a factory thing. So right now, still moving along. California Highway Patrol behind it the best they can. They are being safe. That's one of the reasons why they're a little bit farther behind. Again, though, the biggest fear for us watching right now, somebody getting hurt, be it that driver and or an innocent person. Look how fast he's passing these other vehicles. And then when he does those little maneuvers where he cuts somebody off, one tiny mistake, and that could be devastating. Right now, back in that emergency lane, I always say it, and I really mean it, anytime I even go through a gore point, I wind up with nails in my tire. I'm always amazed at how these guys can drive for miles and never have any problems with their tires. But continuing on right now through that on the emergency lane, we're picking up. We are on the 210. We're going to start getting into the La Cañada area. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to keep a signal up, because it's going to be one of those spots where our microwave signal might be having a problem. But right now, though, we're keeping an eye on this pursuit. California Highway Patrol chasing him. Originally started in Simi Valley. I do know Simi Valley deputies originally were in pursuit, and then they handed it off to California Highway Patrol. Again, the original want, unknown to me at this time.
Well, actually, we're finding out some information according to the CHP West Valley scanner that the original want may have been theft.
It's still
at this point,
here?
Yeah, but we're not sure. Obviously, unconfirmed, and information changes moment to moment as we watch and follow something like this occurring. But it's really the speeds that are dangerous at this point. Araxia pointed out Friday light, but soon, you're going to be dealing with more Friday traffic as conditions change out there on the roads.
Well, the 210 is traditionally kind of one of those freeways. It's like if you live in the valley, it's kind of that secret way around things. Yeah, you're going to put a little more miles on your car, but you're not going to sit in traffic for the most part. So this is going to be pretty much wide open. Now, it depends upon where he winds up, or she. If we take the two.
Uh-oh. All right, it looks like we lost signal there with Stu for a moment. We'll try to work on that as we watch this. There you see indicating where we are exactly, the 210 East and exit 11 there at Sunland Boulevard, Tahunga.
That's fine.
There you are, Stu. Okay, so we're seeing this vehicle just continue to drive erratically, pick up speeds, going very, very fast, weaving in and out of traffic. Obviously, the people who are on the road have no idea what's going on, and that's always very nerve-wracking and dangerous to see.
Definitely, and again, this is continuous. We've been climbing uphill right now, making our way. We're behind Mount Lee, and you can see that vehicle still continuing on. I wonder if that was a California Highway Patrol that he passed right there. It's just one of those ones where you just kind of wonder, what is the point? I always kind of think to myself, why is this person running? You know, they're not going to get away. If it's an emotional thing, maybe this is getting something out of their system, but you're putting so many people at risk. Anybody you're passing at those high speeds, and then of course, you know, yourself behind the wheel. I understand that there is a little bit of a helicopter swap right now. We actually have a sheriff's ship over it. We are in La Cañada. Maybe they made their way over here knowing this was coming their direction. But those speeds and how this person passing everybody out here in the La Cañada Tujunga area, it's a little nerve-wracking. And then those lane changes, they've been kind of sweeping right now. Like you said, a little bit Friday light. He's got those opportunities to make those kind of wide turns. But sometimes he gets into those traffic situations, and even at those high speeds, makes those abrupt turns. I'm worried about this vehicle colliding with somebody else on the roadway. Everybody else doing the speed limit. This person doing almost double the speed limit.
Yeah, anytime you see a car driving like that, whizzing by you, you kind of wonder, you know, what the situation is. I know I take pause and wonder if it's a pursuit going by, but clearly that's the situation here. If you're driving along this freeway and you're seeing this car going by at triple digits in terms of how fast it's speeding by, really dangerous. And obviously, we're having trouble with the signal right there, but we are staying on top of this pursuit of this dark SUV that started in the Simi Valley area.
And with that, we're at the 11 o'clock mark of Good Day LA Plus, GDLA Plus, and we welcome all of you. We are watching this pursuit. We began watching this towards the end of the 10 o'clock hour. Stu up in Skyfox over the scene right now. There you see it on the 210 East, passing exit 17, La Crescenta there. Obviously, this vehicle we hear is a theft suspect, wanted for some kind of a theft issue. You see how dangerous this individual is as he or she makes his or her way down the freeway there.
Oh my gosh.
Very close to so many vehicles. I know, it is really nerve-wracking, just complete disregard for any rules and laws and other people's safety at this point. So Stu, pick it up from there and tell us what else you see happening down below. We don't see the black and white vehicles or any CHP from this vantage point, but obviously they're giving this person some space because this is where it gets very dangerous, when they feel as though they have nothing to lose.
You know, I'm trying to. Whoa! Oh my goodness!
Oh my
gosh! I don't want to show that on television. Yes. Oh no!
Oh wow!
No, no, no! This is good. This is one of those ones where I don't even want to push in on that. No. I think the driver was ejected on that collision right there. We're going to need a moment or two to actually find out exactly what happened, but definitely collided with that pickup truck. And this is what I was talking about the whole time. That type of collision, you know, that if what I saw is what I saw, which I hope it's not, this has come to a very tragic ending. You can see the California Highway Patrol. I want to push in, but I don't want to put anything on air that would be offensive or, you know, that we don't want to see. But you can see California Highway Patrol still kind of close by. Maybe that was just the airbag that I saw floating around on the outside of that vehicle when that collision happened. But it definitely looked like it definitely hit on the driver's side. There is no doubt about that. And of course, it ripped open the side of that car. California Highway Patrol making their way over there right now. I'm looking for some kind of acknowledgement, if I can push in a little closer, if I should stay wide. It looks like they are taking the person out of the vehicle right now, but that condition I can't say because we can't see it. But this pursuit coming to a very tragic end out here. We're in the Pasadena area technically, freeway, 210 right by the exit 19, which I think might actually be the 2. But these are the ones that it saddens me to see that type of incident happen out there. And of course, this person probably very injured, and this pursuit coming to an end out here with a tragic collision on the 210.
That was a violent end.
100 miles an hour.
That was a violent end to that pursuit, and you can see all the black and white, patrol cars. They have the freeway pretty much blocked at the moment. We saw the driver. The impact seemed to be only on the driver's side of the vehicle, right? And you could see that, it just ripped an entire hole through the driver's side of the vehicle and dragging some of the parts of the car along with it. And we don't know what the status of the driver is, but certainly it had to be very, very injured at that point. Mm-hmm.
Definitely, and this is one of the ones where I'm trying to find out more by kind of pushing in to see what happens. But yeah, there's it definitely seems to be that driver definitely bleeding, and in the CHP, one of them, you saw him run over here to the back of that car. He actually they all have paramedic kits in there. They come across these type of accidents all the time. They do know basic and first aid, but that collision with the side of this truck right here, this dump truck, that is solid steel, and and connected with that portion right there, that so that's even angled. It opened that car up like a can opener.
It did.
And hopefully it is that driver will be okay, but right now I would venture to say not okay. Definitely not okay.
We don't want to zoom in too tightly on that car right now, because you can see it is quite the bloody scene.
What a tragic and violent ending to this, and we want to apologize too if anyone saw what exactly happened.
This is a replay of the accident right now.
Right there.
It is really horrific to watch this, and
yes,
you could see the vehicle was speeding so fast it went out of control as it was trying to veer around that orange truck, and that's how the collision happened, so violently and so quickly, because of the speed, and that's why you said it pried it open like a can opener. That edge of the orange truck just opening up that SUV like that so quickly and violently. So it really is a tragic scene right there. As you mentioned, everything is on lockdown, stopped, all lanes of traffic on that side of the 210. Completely stopped.
You can see the backup already beginning.
The backup continuing all along that area. So
when you're going at a speed like that, it's very easy there to lose control, and obviously that's exactly what happened. And that driver in that giant semi has no clue, obviously, what was transpiring and what happened. They were just going on their way, and they had no idea that this had just taken place. But that individual driving just was not able to in time veer away, and there you saw that very violent scene take place.
Do we know, Stu, how fast the driver was going when the collision happened?
I would venture to say, because he was in those triple digits that entire time, is definitely going to be that kind of number. That dump truck, that looks like a city truck, I venture to say probably was going about 55. So it's kind of simple math. He basically hit the back of that truck, or skimmed the back of that truck at about 50 miles an hour, and most of that impact was right there on the driver's side. Definitely that driver very injured right now. Officers from California Highway Patrol doing first aid to the victim. I know there has been a call for a fire truck to arrive out here in an ambulance, but it's going to be more than a few minutes, especially with that traffic backed up, and how are they going to make their way over here. So it's going to be a few minutes before we start seeing the paramedics come. But like you said, all lanes right now on that eastbound 210 shut down, and that backup already building very quickly. A lot of these folks might have an opportunity to get off or make their way on an off ramp, but some of them are going to be here for the duration. California Highway Patrol, they may have to open some lanes just to get the fire trucks in here. That might relieve some of the pressure, but that ending is just one of those ones. it's tragic. And I really, I mean, the word hate is, it is what it is, but it's one of those things you just never want to see with anybody. That person possibly losing their life this afternoon, and for what? Whatever the problem was, they probably could have worked it out, may take some time, but tragic ending out here on the 210 freeway.
Certainly, and Stu, you're going to keep an eye on that. We will return to this coverage after we take a short break. Be right back.
All right, we want to welcome you back to GDLA Plus. We just saw the end of a violent pursuit. This is the East 210 freeway. Stu, up in Skyfox overhead. Just give us a recap in terms of the situation right now.
Well, I can tell you right now that the California Highway Patrol are performing CPR on the driver of that vehicle that was involved in that chase that we were watching. Very high speeds. I cannot push in right now. But you see that orange dump truck down there? That vehicle at over 100 miles an hour did collide with the back of it. Now they were both moving at that time, and that vehicle, both of the vehicles, coming to a stop at that location. California Highway Patrol right behind it. They made an approach. They saw the victim was in very bad shape. They grabbed their first aid kits and now are doing CPR and trying to do life-saving procedures to keep that suspect alive. All the lanes here on the 210 eastbound in the Pasadena area are going to be stopped for some time. A couple of folks are being able to get off, but if this is part of your drive this morning, you know somebody that may be on that road, give them heads up. Tell them to get off that freeway and try to re-enter after the 2 if they need to stay on the 210. But again, tragic ending out here to a pursuit that came out of the Simi Valley area. Burglary suspect, that was the original want. And again, a very tragic ending as that vehicle hit that dump truck. Now, they were both moving at that time, but still enough of a force to rip open the side of the car and severely, if not mortally, injure the driver of that vehicle that was fleeing from law enforcement.
Oof, it was a rough pursuit
just about
to
the
watch
worst end that you could imagine.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
but honestly, I just keep thinking about how innocent people could have been hurt given the circumstances and how fast that person was driving and how reckless that individual was. Obviously, we saw how he was unable to veer away from that dump truck in time, which leads us to this scene right here, a tragic end right there as they try to save this person's life, but I don't know how hopeful it's looking at this point. And then, you know, realistically, all the people who are on that road, and if we pan over, we can show that backup that's going to impact so many people's days today. We don't know how long this is going to take. It's going to take quite some time to clear a scene like this.
Right. Stu, just for clarification, was the driver, was he the only person in the car? It seems like it.
It definitely seems like it. Yeah, I believe that driver is the solo person inside that vehicle. The driver from the dump truck probably realized there was a collision, did stop. Clearly, you can see right there, that truck stopped right there at the gore point. But California Highway Patrol, during the break, we did take a quick peek, and they are down there performing CPR and doing what they can. We did see one LA County paramedic truck just pulling up, so that's the first one arriving. There definitely is going to be an ambulance, and as you said, this is going to be here for some time. A fatality crash during a pursuit. They're going to have to do an investigation. Hopefully they'll be able to open a couple of the lanes out here. But right now, all lanes on the eastbound 210 shut down in the Pasadena area. So it's just keep this in mind if it's part of your drive. But again, I have no words when something like this happens, because you just think to yourself, you know, was it worth it? And clearly that answer is no.
Yeah.
Truly, it's senseless. It put many other people at risk, and this is the ending that I know no officer out there had hoped for. So, okay, Stu, what we'll do is we'll let them get everything figured out. We're going to check back in with you if there's any updates for you to share with us. But in the meantime, we're going to roll along with our show here. Thank you, Stu.
We are, and we'll keep an eye on the traffic, obviously, because that impacts so many people and their day, and even their weekend at this point. Yeah. All right, let's bring it back here to the studio. Welcome you all. I think it's the first time we've been on camera. Welcome. Welcome to GDLA Plus on this Friday morning. We have some topics to get to. Let's start with this. A lot of people finding out if they got into college or not right around now. An online trend has some teens embracing their college rejections instead of feeling bad about them. Watch this.
Hi, I'm Mary.
Hi, I'm Rylan.
We got rejected from BC.
Hi, my name is Sharon, and I got rejected from Yale. Hi, I'm Lucy, and I got rejected from Holy Cross.
So this is their rejection cake, showing the top schools they were rejected from. Experts say social media has really added this pressure for teens to show off what school they're attending after high school, and this can be tough for teens who are seeing some people celebrate while others get rejected, get those rejection letters, right? Especially when many top schools reject 90% or more of the applicants. I don't know. One way to cope with it, I guess. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm for it, right? Whatever softens the blow.
Yeah.
A little bit. I just know that back when I was applying to, and I'm sure the same thing can be said for you guys, back when I was applying for schools, you would get that little thin letter,
right?
And you knew based on the size of the envelope whether you were in or not.
Yeah, if you were in, you would get the big packet sent to you, right? And so you just open your mailbox, you knew right away you know what you were getting. But now it's a click of a button, and people are posting online their celebrations. They're clicking it and seeing if they're accepted or rejected, and those videos going viral. But I like the rejection cake, you know?
It's like a divorce party.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, it's like comfort food. You eat it after. Stuff your face with sweets. Sounds good.
True.
Speaking of eating, we're talking everything deep fried. LA County Fair kicking off in Pomona. Coco has what you can eat and do.
Yes, good morning.